Mike,
you ain't never gonna worry about
get
seeing
your
me here
get your
again.
hands off of me. You get your hands
Mr.
off of
Young
me.
Big Bad.
Got a random vehicle just parked right here on my property. Look, there's nobody in here. Nautilus. Is it unlocked? All right, we're calling the Levy County Sheriff. I hate to do it, but I don't want to keep calling them for silly things, but I mean, I can drag it with my tractor. It's on my property, but we're going to have to call them right now.
Thank you for calling the Levy County Sheriff's Office.
I hate to do this. I feel like Mary right now. I'm not even opening mail.
If you know your party's extension, press 8 now.
No, we don't know that. We just have a
To
random
report a crime,
Lincoln.
to a deputy, press 1. For the detention center, press 2. For an operator, press 3.
3 maybe for
For a list
operator.
of administrative offices, press
I'm gonna press 1 to talk to a deputy. I hate to do this, but I do not want to bother them.
Sheriff's Office, Circle Line, this is Mayor. If I can help you.
Yeah, I've got a random vehicle parked on my property here in Otter Creek, and there's no driver. It's been sitting here for over an hour and a half, and I'd like it off.
Okay. And what is your address?
It's 351 Florida 24 in Otter Creek.
Is this Northeast State Road 24?
It's the old Ark in Otter Creek. So it's on the way to Cedar Key. I don't know if that's northeast. I would assume that's probably west on the way to Cedar Key.
Okay. So it's on the west side of 19?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
About half a mile from 19 west.
All right. And is there a tag associated with this vehicle?
Yep, 0244YL.
And is that a Florida tag?
It is a Florida tag.
Okay. And what was your name?
My name is Jeremy Hales.
Okay. And a good phone number for you?
Yes, you can.
Let me just run this tag real fast to make sure it matches the description.
Yeah, it's a white Lincoln Nautilus. And I mean, maybe you can even give me a name and I can figure out there's somebody here in the area, but it's been here for about an hour and a half. And
Yeah. So I actually can't the phone, but I will have the officer respond.
okay,
And he should be able to assist you, okay?
okay. Sounds like a plan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, sheriff deputy is going to call us. We'll figure out whose car this is. Yesterday, random outhouse. Today, random Lincoln. Now, we do have cameras, and we do have cameras pointed out here at the road. And I'm counting how many times Russ goes by. But that being said, Deanna is now at the house. So at 7 a.m. this morning, I actually turned the cameras off because she's going back and forth and she's here and she can see everything. So I didn't need to have the actual security cameras on. And roughly a little bit after that, Deanna texted me. She's like, there's a random car in the front yard. I was like, all right, I'll be there in an hour. I'll figure it out then. So we're going to hear back from the sheriff, and I thought it was maybe a fan waiting all morning, but no, look at this. There is... I just don't get it. It's Florida for sure. I don't get it. Why would anybody... There's party mailboxes in there, Gatorade, a t-shirt, a book, something about Saul. There's some ice cubes. Let's look over here. Oh, I see some mail. I see some mail. We might be able to get a name. I see some mail. I see a C. I see a C at the beginning of an ace piece of mail. C. So here's the other thing. We had a massive storm last night. There were actually branches down on our road to the ranch. And I had to get out and I had to haul the branches off. A huge pine tree broke. So the other thing is that a neighbor could have had a tree go over their driveway. But look, here's a neighbor right here, free and clear, right? Here's our neighbor over here, free and clear. If it was Roy has my number, would have said something to me. Without a doubt would have said something to me. Who else over here would park a car right here on our property? It just makes no sense. I don't understand the mentality of some people. But we're gonna dig down into this and figure it out and see who they are and what they were thinking. And it could be innocent, or it could not.
Levy County Sheriff just pulled up to try and help us figure out why this Lincoln is just here on the property. Hopefully he'll have some insight on if this is a local or some random.
So it's been here almost 2 hours now.
Okay.
And I have my security cameras towards the road, but I turned the cameras off because my employee is here in the morning. So I turned them off, and it's been here almost 2 hours. She didn't see the person come out.
Okay.
And I don't see any blocked driveways from the storm. I mean, I would understand if there's a blocked driveway and a neighbor from the storm, but just randomly parking on somebody's property.
Yeah, that's possible. That's what I'm trying to look for. If we have any calls for somebody disabled in the area or anything like that.
What would that be in regards to disabled?
If they pulled off the road, they found the nearest little drive or something, and since it's steep
Hold a second, you got a
embankment.
roach on you.
See, I felt something crawling around.
Ooh.
I got him.
There we go.
Oh,
Alright.
that was a big one.
Yeah, it was nice. I felt him on my arm. But yeah, I say steep embankment. They could have pulled off. I'm trying to see if we got anything like that for the owner, which I don't see the owner's name. I'll have to go through our recent call history, see if we got. If we have any recent for disabled vehicles, if not, then I'll attempt to. It's up to y'all. It is on private property.
You just tow it.
It's up to y'all if you want to tow it. It'd be private property tow, which would be for you guys to call. You
Yep.
call a tow company, tell them
Yep.
there's a basically abandoned vehicle on your property.
Yeah, we've had to do it.
You don't have to pay out of pocket for that. Just make sure whichever tow company you do call,
Yep.
make sure you tell them that it's not yours, and make
Yep.
sure that they're not going to charge you any kind of fee for
Yep.
towing.
And then they charge them to get it
They
out
charge
of
them
impound.
for the
Yep.
tow and to release it back.
And sorry for having to call you. I know,
No, I mean,
here
I
in Otter
can-
Creek things are crazy, and
Yeah, I mean,
you've
I
obviously
certainly-
heard the name and you know what's going on, and so
I can certainly, I'll do a little more digging just to see if there was any disabled. If we got a contact number for the owner
okay.
to use, I can try to make contact with them and see like what the issue is, if they're coming back to pick it up soon, or if you guys just want to call a tow.
If we can find out who it is and they can come and pick it up, I'd rather them have their vehicle than have to tow it. But at the same time, I mean, I find it really rude to unless there was an emergency.
Yeah, just randomly leave it. Which I'm gonna dig through our call history just
Okay.
for a band or disabled vehicles, see if we have any calls for that. If I can't find anything.
Okay.
An address looks like it's an out of county address for the registered owner.
So it's not even Levy County.
Yeah, I mean it's
goodness.
it's Trenton. It's basically just on the other side.
Half hour
a little
away.
bit. Yeah. But I mean that's just the registered address.
We don't know anybody from Trenton with a white Lincoln, do we?
No.
Yeah. We thought maybe it was a fan camping out, wanting to say
something like
hi,
that.
and then no, it's empty. I can see a piece of mail, and I see the first letter of the first name has a C. Am I close?
Okay.
I see one piece of mail on the seat, and it's got a C as the first letter, but I can't make out the full name.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is going to be if we even got a call on it, because sometimes people just leave their vehicles on the side of the road. Some people are good about calling the office and letting us know that, like, hey, my vehicle broke down. It's parked here. I'll be back in the afternoon or in the morning to pick it up. But
yeah, there's no. Let's check and we didn't see a note or anything on it, did we?
That'd be the other thing. Sometimes people leave a note.
We went around. We didn't see nothing. There's no note on the property. There's nothing on the vehicle except this is kind of weird.
Yeah, they got the mirror.
The mirrors went in, but there's no note. There's no, they didn't knock on the door and talk to Deanna or anything like that. So unusual. So this is pretty common for you guys then.
Yeah, it happens. It happens off and on, and usually it's usually out further this way or in more lower lying areas where you have deeper ditches.
Deeper water and ditches.
Yeah, people will pull off in people's driveway or pull off onto a flat piece of ground like this. Usually, most people, especially most people, if there's no issues, they'll usually leave a note or something else because they know
people's
gonna tow it or somebody's got to do something with
see it.
So and we don't always have reliable means of contact. So
yeah. Well, we appreciate what you guys been doing for us here in Otter Creek. I got a serious question for you. How many episodes of What the Hales have you watched?
Say me personally, I think I've only seen like 1 or 2.
That's all right.
Yeah, I go back and forth on how much like YouTube I watch.
Yeah.
So I haven't been on a kick here lately. So
Boy,
when you guys moved into town and I don't know, I can't remember who it was. Somebody random told me like, yeah, there's some new YouTubers that like set up shop in Otter Creek. I was like, oh, let me check it out.
That's when we had the 70 acres. They sold us the land illegally with known disclosures. They're selling meth on our property. They were dumping on our property, trespassing, hunting.
Whole mess of things.
Whole mess, man. Whole mess. We picked Otter Creek because it is central to Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and we can go to all these auctions, and that's what we do. We buy storage units and we resell. And it's so central, and you're right by Cedar Key, which is one of the most beautiful areas, like just a gem here in Florida. We never knew that we were going to have so many problems with the locals, and now
that's always unfortunate.
This is very unfortunate.
And it's one of those things. Usually, when you move into a new area, you don't learn anything until you're there.
Yeah. We just wanted to hide in the woods, run our business, but
yeah, I'm not getting anything back, anything that we responded to at all, especially not in the last 24 hours for the car. To say it's only been here a few hours.
Yeah, a couple hours, maybe over 2 hours now. When Deanna first texted me and said, "Hey, it's been out here," and I was like, "Well, I'll be over in an hour. I'll check up on it." And
okay. Yeah, I can. It's up to you, but I can have Gilchrist County go out to that address and try to get in contact with an owner.
Can you do that first? I would hate to
tow before you tow.
Yes, I would hate to tow the car if somebody, say it is disabled, the car broke down, they didn't leave a note, there's an emergency. I would hate to tow that.
It is more of obviously I can't give you registered owner information. I'm not allowed to.
Okay, I peeked anyway, but that's okay.
So I'm not giving you anything.
You didn't give me nothing.
You
didn't give me nothing, and I ain't contacting. But if
the
you could have
biggest
them
thing,
do it.
yeah, and then if you wish, I can have Gilchrist go out there to that address, try to make contact with the owner, and I can if you give me a contact number, I can always call you and let you know where that's at and let you go from there, whether you're gonna tow it immediately or what.
If you could do that, and we would hear back from you in about how much time?
Say I'll call Gilchrist now to have them go out there, and if they got somebody free, I would say within the hour.
Okay, so let's do that. We'll give them an hour. We'll hope to hear back from you. Hopefully, somebody gets their vehicle.
Say within the hour, whether I get Gilchrist back or not, I'll give you a shout just to
let me know, and then we'll have it towed.
Yeah.
There's a benefit bike ride tomorrow too, and they're going to be right in the way of the station. Yeah. So you see where the outhouse is. So they have a huge benefit fundraiser going through in a bike ride, and this is right where one of the stations is where they set up too. So I do have to have it out today.
Have it clear.
And have it clear for the benefit fundraising.
I understand. We can certainly do that. I'll try to have somebody.
Don't want to cause the owner additional expenses and hundreds of dollars of getting it out of the impound after it's towed. So
exactly. We can give this a shot, which is what we typically do. If it's an in-county address, I'll usually either myself or one of the other deputies run out there, try to make contact with an owner. If it's out of county, we try to send that county just to give them an opportunity to like, hey, why's your vehicle here on somebody's property? And then if we can't contact anybody, then obviously we tow it.
Okay.
Or we let the owners know.
We'll call and do a private tow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you my number, and then we'll try and hear back from you, and we'll kind of go from there then.
Somebody would have stolen last night, joyride around, and then
dump it right here. Yeah, do you see keys in there anywhere?
No, I don't, but it could be.
So I could see the locals stealing it and then dumping it on our property, screwing around with us, because they did that. They did that over on our 70 acres.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they already did that. We had to have that one towed. But I'm not seeing the keys. Definitely her mail.
Like a hotel key, that's about it. Like hotel.
Wasn't staying in a hotel here at Otter Creek.
I mean,
There's a hotel key in there.
It's got a little key.
Yeah.
Key ring, little green one. It kind of looks like a hotel, but it's definitely. Yeah, I'll get Gilchrist on the way and do that.
Thanks, Justin.
No problem. Y'all take it easy. I'll be reaching out to you here shortly.
Thanks again.
Yes, sir.
So, a couple different options. Vehicle could be busted, could have broke down, had to pull over. Usually there would be a note. Probably somebody would knock on the door. Deanna would have heard that, but that didn't happen. And then option number 2, somebody could have stole it, joyride, and then left it here and ditched it here, which makes me go, I shouldn't have turned the cameras off, because Deanna was already up and running, and so she was going back and forth, and I was like, to the buildings, and I was like, all right, everything's fine. So I'm probably not going to turn the cameras off in the morning anymore. And option number 3, somebody could have just ditched it and went, all right, we're trying to get rid of it. So we'll figure it out. Hopefully we can get it back to the owner. And Deputy Justin, he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The nice thing of having the sheriff over here checking on the vehicle, everybody is slowing down now. Everybody. So George and I were just thinking, maybe part of the misunderstanding in the community is we've kept the ARC sign up because we actually wanted to. We wanted to preserve some of the history. But we're kind of thinking that probably the smartest thing is to take this down, which is just going to have a blank in it because we don't have a sign yet. Did you get that Walmart coming soon sign yet? Or
Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
It's in the works.
I think what we can do, looks like Starbit here. Yeah, this is Starbit. I think we'll pop this out, and then we'll pop that out, and hopefully, look at old Blue up there. Look at old Blue. Oh, old
Looking
Blue.
good.
Hopefully, that'll clear up some confusion in parking on the property. I really wanted to keep this sign up.
Well, we can just keep it up, but inside.
All right, you stay there.
Okay.
All right, if Brian was here, I know what he would do.
What would he do? He would run right through it.
Come out?
There it goes. It came out in one piece.
All right, there we go.
Is that electrical tape?
Looks like it. Or vinyl tape. This does not look as good now when there's a big hole in there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we got Justin through there, which is cool, but
Well,
I don't know,
now,
hopefully it clears up some confusion.
mystery coming soon.
We gotta get a new sign. Got it figured out?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. What we got going on?
Been doing this for 50 years.
50 years now.
My wife's mother went to school back here.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Jeremy.
Mike Davis in Cedar Key.
Good to meet you, Mike.
Yeah, y'all really try to fit into the community, man. You're getting a car towed that we don't even know. We didn't even know this had sold. Nobody did.
Apparently, your wife's mother going to school in a building means you can park there for 50 years. 50 years. So, you used to park what? Your wagon here with your horses? This is Mike Davis. Remember that. Mike Davis, Cedar Key, Florida. Mike Davis. And he thinks he can park a vehicle anywhere. And he thinks that as soon as you have the landowner right in front of you, you can insult them and say, hey, you're really trying to fit in the community here. No, I'm not trying to fit in. I don't want to fit in with people like you, Mike Davis. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
be a little easier.
with all due respect, sir, I moved into this community and I've had cars abandoned on my property.
Yeah, well,
I'm not trying to be easy. I'm trying to figure out who owns it. With all due respect, I'm going to tell you, be a little bit more polite and not rude. Don't park on somebody's property without permission or without leaving a note.
Well, you see, that's what I'm saying.
I don't care if you've been doing it for 50 years. That doesn't mean you can still do it.
Yeah,
Now,
see-
I could have
can see
towed it. I
you're-
could have towed
yeah.
it, but you wanted to be rude.
No,
But
it
I
wasn't
wanted
me.
you to just remove it. I wanted to make sure that you didn't have to pay the fees.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal. Because you were rude with me, don't park on my property anymore.
Don't worry
Don't
about
trespass, okay?
that. It'd be nice to know it was yours.
Did you knock? Did you ask? Or do
I
you
wasn't
just think
here,
because
man.
you lived here for 50 years, you can keep doing it because you've been doing it for 50 years?
Well, unless somebody
How about I
said
go park
different,
all my vehicles on your property? Is that okay?
If you ask me.
Because I'm going to start. How hilarious is this? Mike Davis, Cedar Key. If I ask him, I can park my vehicles on his property. He's been doing it for 50 years. Do you have any idea how many owners have been? Okay, let's see. Levy County Board of Education, there's been the ARC, and now, well, there were some years there where nothing was going on, but now us. He never asked, but I have to ask him to park on his property. He doesn't have to ask me, because his wife's mom went here to school, and I've been parking here for 50 years. And then I'm going to tell you, well, I've been doing this for 1 year, 2 years. Just don't be rude, man. I could have told it. You just sat right there and said, well, you've really been trying to fit in the community 50 years. 50 years.
I don't want to talk to you, man.
Get your vehicle off my property, okay? Don't do it again.
Right now,
You could have been
state property.
You
so
could have
just
been
buy
polite
it.
about it.
I'm on state property.
You could have been polite about
You
it.
could have.
No, you're not on
you
state
call
property.
and tell my wife and her friends you're gonna tow their car.
Not state property.
It is state property.
That's a right of way with the state. That's still Jeremy Hale's property.
No.
Do you understand? That's a right of way with the state. That's not you
I
have a right of way.
understand one thing.
Mike,
You ain't never gonna worry about
get
seeing
your
me here
get your
again.
hands off of me.
All right, y'all
Oh,
two seconds.
You get your hands
Mr.
off of
Young
me.
Big Bad.
We ain't doing this today.
Mr.
Both
Young
y'all
Big Bad.
Separate, sir.
Mike Davis, Cedar Key, Florida. Have I emphasized that enough? Mike Davis. Apparently, he wanted to show me how big his dad bod was, because immediately after I told him get his hand off of me, he pushed his gun out at me. Get off the property.
Mr. Jeremy.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me when
I'll
I'm
take
off
care
of it.
I don't
Tell
want
me when
any
I'm
kind
off of
issues.
it.
If you don't mind, we'll go ahead and have your
Yes.
employee load up.
That is such a
Y'all
nice
get on.
way to ask somebody to do something.
That's because I don't want no issues.
Rude.
Go ahead and load up. For me.
Completely and totally rude.
Boy, you ain't seen rude.
Mike Davis, Cedar Key. All right, you ready for the plot twist? Former mayor of Cedar Key sticking his gut out at me. You think we don't have enough good old boy mayor issues? By the way, owner of Davis Seafood in Cedar Key. I also believe the owner of Cedar Key Sea Farms in Cedar Key. How in the world do these morons get away with this stuff? You know, because he's been parking there for 50 years. Completely and totally rude.
Jennifer, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Did it crank up?
Yeah. And that attitude, I should have just had it towed. So what was the story?
So, I guess it's one of those deals. The owner, I guess from what information I've been relayed from Gilchrist and everything, is that she usually parks here to meet up with someone else, and then she usually rides with whoever. And then when they come back, she picks up her car. I don't know if it's a long-term thing with previous owners. How long have you guys owned?
2 months now.
2 months. Okay. So everything with the county probably has an update. When did you guys? What date did you guys purchase?
Jeez, do you remember?
March 9th.
March 9th.
March 9th.
I mean, the
Probably get out of
reality
his
is
way.
they wouldn't have cared. They were just going to still do it anyway. He came out rude from the gate, saying, I've been doing this for 50 years. Who do you think you are? He came out rude from the gate.
And that's one of the off and on things that
Yeah.
you'll run into with
these people.
long-term residents, especially rural counties and everything, rural areas.
Yep.
You'll run into that all the time.
He came off rude out the gate. You know what? You treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect. You treat me rude, and this is what we've experienced in this area. Is rude, rude.
So I don't
rude.
know if it's something that you want to discuss right now, but who is the property listed on?
Me. We still asking, where's the Southern hospitality? Because we haven't seen it. I don't care if you're from the North. I don't care if you're from the South. You're going to park your vehicle on somebody's property. You're going to tell that person, hey, I'm here. I'm dropping my vehicle off at this time. I'm picking it up at this time. Boy, I got to bite my tongue. These people think they own everybody else's property and can do whatever they want with everybody else's property. It doesn't matter that it's our property now and it was the ARC's property. They didn't even notify anybody. Nobody knows. The only issue there is he came out the gate rude. I've been doing this for 50 years. You're really trying to fit into the community. I have a random vehicle. I have an employee I have to take care of. I have Doesn't even matter how much money I've invested in things back there, and then I have random vehicles showing up, and
Yeah,
it's not okay.
You don't know the situation behind it. And
He could have came out, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. We've had permission in the past. Would it be okay? And I would have told him, yeah, as long as here's my number. Call me. You can text me. Tell me when you're going to be there, so I know I can tell my employee. But he didn't, so I don't want him on the property ever again.
Of course.
So
I completely understand. That's
it
your
would have
right.
went different. It would have went different if he didn't come out the gate like that.
And that's how most situations are.
It's
It all
ridiculous.
depends on how people interact.
It's ridiculous.
But all right.
Okay, Justin.
Well,
you
at least
did your
that's
job.
taken care of. Yeah. Obviously, if you have any other issues or concerns or anything, feel free to call.
All right.
We're always
I don't
around.
think he'll be back. I don't. You know,
No,
he wanted to bump chest, but
no, and that's all right. Prefer that doesn't happen because that causes more paperwork. So I just don't like that.
I just don't. I don't like these good old boys sitting around trying to go. Oh, you're from North. Oh, I'm gonna do this on your property. I'm gonna do this. I've been doing it ever since, and I did this with my daddy and my granddaddy. Great, but I'm not disrespecting their property. I'm not on their property. I'm not doing anything to them. It's always them coming onto my property and trying to mess around.
Oh yeah.
It ain't okay. It ain't okay up north. It ain't okay down south. I don't care where anybody is from. I don't care where anybody is from.
It's not, and people
It's
know.
not okay.
People know when property changes hands, or if they don't, fine. Honest mistake. Like I thought it was still owned by so and so. Talk to the new owner.
And I wish he would have done that.
Yeah,
I wish he would have done that.
And that's
nope.
one of those things. He chose a different type of interaction, so it's. I mean, that's how today went. But
And if he would have done that, I would have told him, hey, just here's my number. You can text me. We just had this dropped off yesterday. We couldn't
days
figure out.
ago.
We couldn't figure out where in the world this came from. And then we were like, no, we didn't order it. We didn't order it. We didn't order it. And then it came about that they're doing. I told you the fundraiser.
yeah.
So then the guy talked to me. He's like, oh, I didn't know property changed hands. I'm like, well, good news. It did. You can still come. So I just need to know what's going on.
Exactly.
So we give them permission. They can come every year. I just need to know what's going on.
And that's one of the hard things. Like this used to be like like I say that basically for disabled individuals and everything for the longest time.
Yep.
So the community's always known it like that. But obviously, just like that event coordinator, once he realized his mistake, like oh, it's different owners. I'm sorry.
And he did
like,
it
you
the right
mind?
way. And we
Exactly.
went, all right, you can come every year. Here's my contact.
Exactly.
They just would have been polite, man.
That's all it takes with a lot of people. But
I don't get it, but
I say we're resolved today. Obviously, if you have any other issues,
holler at you.
call.
Thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Doing
Yes,
a good
sir.
job. Tell the rest of the gang that I said we appreciate them as well.
Almost
So
definitely.
thank you. Thanks,
Yes, sir.
Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Y'all take care.
You too. Robert, you know what the funny part is when people trespass on this property?
What's that?
They never know how many people have guns pointed at them. All right, let's see. 1, 2. Our sniper just hid, but our sniper can't hide his work. Look at this. Check that out. Dan, for grandbaby George, I love it. I love it. Check that out. That is one of the most beautiful things right there. You know what? Grandbaby George can come on this property anytime he or she wants. To summarize, the way you come at somebody is going to affect the outcome. He came out the gate. He goes, wow, great way to fit in the community. I've been parking here for 50 years. I don't care where you've been parking for 50 years. You don't have permission. You should be letting somebody know each time you park somewhere on somebody's property. And then he touched me. And then he bumped bellies with me. And legally, I could have laid him out right then and there. Now, I don't want to do that with the elderly, but he deserved it. And he's probably going to get it somewhere down the line. He's not going to get it from me unless he shows up on the property again. But I have a feeling that's never going to happen again. And I want to emphasize, we appreciate and we are thankful for our Levy County Sheriff that actually have brains. You know, they actually understand the issues with these good old boys down here and the good old boy system and them thinking that they own everything and run everything even though they don't. And so, Levy County Sheriff, we thank you again for being the wisdom and really the mediator in all these interactions down here and doing the right thing. Thank you so much.